we've got one more question that we're going to take today. Rather than taking a call, we're actually going to take a question from our lovely audience here in the studio. Greg, who are we talking to today?
Me.
Wait, all right. Yeah. Greg, everybody.
God himself.
Cameo.
First of all, I want to thank everybody in the audience for coming out.
Yay, the audience.
I want to thank all of our wonderful hosts we had on the show today, and everybody out there watching. We love you all more than you know. But anyway, I kind of wanted to wrap this up with maybe some things that have been asked of you before, but maybe not asked on a show. So I have a question for each of you, and then I have a common question at the end. So, Forrest, what is your favorite biological oddity?
Okay.
Mike, what is your favorite philosophical argument to utterly destroy?
Oh, God, what am I? Okay.
And Dan, what is your favorite weird, out there, supernatural claim that you love talking about most on the show? And then my question for all of you, and you may or may not agree, but who is your favorite other ACA host to work with and why?
Oh. Wow.
Oh, man. That one's going to hurt some feelings, I feel like.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's creating a hierarchy here. There's a division involved. I don't like that.
It's awful.
Well, I worked with
That's
Seth
awkward.
Andrews pretty recently, in a sense. Like, am I allowed to just...
It
I can
would
pull
be-
you all the way.
It would
you
be
can all
so
just get mad at
funny
me.
if
That
none
way I
of
don't-
us said Elliot. It would be so funny if none of us said
I'll let you answer let's go in order.
Let's go in order.
Okay. Asking me my favorite biological oddity is like asking a chef their favorite food. It's really difficult for me to pin one down, but off the top of my head at this moment, just mammary glands are modified sweat glands, what we would call sudoriferous glands, and you already have water and a little bit of salt in there. You just keep adding nutrients, and then you have milk, and that's why early, like the lowest taxonomy of the lowest, most basal kind of mammals, monotremes, still have milk patches rather than nipples. Nipples are just straws. They're just, you take that same duct and just elongate it and focus it in one way. It is nutrient-rich sweat coming out of a skin straw, and that is what defines our entire goddamn clade.
Bro, we're about to eat dinner like right after this, man.
Are you getting it out of a skin straw? Like, what are you doing? Because, there were some babies in here
This
earlier.
is why we don't do
and let me
in-person
tell
shows
you
with you anymore.
why they suck.
Oh.
They're terrible things. Terrible things.
Crazy. All right, well, that's an answer.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
It's a good one. I'm just giving you
Favorite to destroy. I mean, I don't. I probably fine tuning.
fine-tuning,
Especially because I know a lot of people. They're like that one gives me the most trouble was the fine tuning, and I think that's an empirical claim. So in order to get off the ground, what you have to kind of do is say, like, assume our best science says this. Now you proceed, right? You have to kind of make these assumptions because it's not clear what's put in by hand, and these kind of people way more into the kind of physics would shit on me. So I'm gonna not do this, right? I'm not gonna go in that, but. There's obviously a debate, right? There's an empirical investigation inquiry to have. So, but if we do our best to say, let's assume our best science says that there's constants, they could vary in all these different ways, and a very small range of ways that the universe could be, maybe just one way, would permit life. And so the idea is that that's going to be better explained on theism than like naturalism or some type of atheistic view, because there's a desire that God wants those for a purpose, right? He wants the constants this way because he wants life. But one really easy way to think about this is think about the space we've drawn out where we have all of these ways the constants could be. With the universe is collapsing on themselves this way, or we get the life we get, or maybe it's just a bunch of forests just talking biological facts all the time, right? All these different ways they could be. Now think of all the way God's desires could be. For each one of the ways that you could change the constants, you could correspond a potential desire that God has. And so when you make this move where you want to say, look, you need this desire in order to explain this finely tuned constant, you can't stop there. You have to go parity of reasoning. You need to keep going. That is the same improbability to land on that desire for that constant rather than the infinite other desires God could have for the infinite amount of constants. So by parity of reasoning, we're going to get an infinite regression of fine-tuners, because now we need a fine-tuner to design the desires of God in order to finally pick out those constants, and that's going to go over and over and over again. And I love seeing people's like eyes kind of glaze over this when they're like, they finally get it, and they're like, I'm like, do you deny that God, he's an omnipotent being? He could create any one of these worlds, could he not? Yes, he could. Why does he have this desire over any of the other desires? And why does that not cause the same problem on a higher level that you now need a fine-tuned designer for those desires ad infinitum?
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Butterflies can taste with their feet, y'all.
That's cool. I like
That's
that.
another one.
You already had your oddity.
I'm just saying. I just want to throw another one in.
Okay, so I was thinking about this. I think I could break it down into favorite cryptid and favorite conspiracy theory. So I'm going to do both.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Best conspiracy theory, my favorite one, talking about on Truth One, and we don't talk about it very often, but I really like the idea that the U.S. invasion of Iraq was not because of terrorism, it's not because of oil, but because the U.S. government found Nephilim bones, and that they had to cover that shit up and take it up. And this is supported by like early 2000s Photoshop jobs of people with just next to giant bones.
I think I've seen those.
It's awesome. It's so cool. I love it. That's the best. Anything that involves Nephilim.
The
is
chariots, the wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the idea that wars are started because of angel bones. That's just cool. I just like that. Also, so talking about cryptids, Makole Mbembe is, first of all, a fun thing to say. It is a cryptid that supposedly lives in the Congo, and it's basically just a giant sauropod, right?
Okay.
And the idea is like, you know, this dinosaur is just living among us, right? And it's just hanging out in the jungle. We just haven't found it yet. And there have been young Earth creationists that have attempted to go out to the Congo just to find this dinosaur. Because if they can prove that dinosaurs lived at the same time as people, then it kind of throws evolution and all that stuff, you know, out of whack, right? And of course, they've never found it. But I just love the idea of a grown adult planning a trip to Africa to go to the jungle to find some dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. What a cool thing.
It's funny because I know the one you're talking about because I did a video. One of my episodes of React here a little while ago included this guy who runs a creation museum here in Texas. And he was like, here's this great scientist, this great zoologist who is going out and exploring the very jungles around us to find evidence. And it was this dude who calls himself a zoologist who goes out and explores the jungle looking for cryptids. Yes. And he was looking for that one. He was going to the Congo to find this sauropod. And that's the guy, that's the scientist that they were able to reference. Say, this random guy who says he's a scientist believes in this, therefore it's true. And what blows my mind is if the argument really just has to be dinosaurs lived with people, you can do that with evolution because bitch, them's birds.
Nah, man.
Birds are dinosaurs.
Nah, man, I want to be able to ride on that shit like the Flintstones.
Have you seen ostrich riding? It's a thing.
Okay, but that's not a sauropod, man. I want to be like Godzilla.
No, it's
like
a theropod.
Shit. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Speaking of, so SR did exactly what
What's
he did
doing?
here.
He's giving a hug.
Guys, you didn't answer the question who your favorite.
We haven't gotten there yet.
You haven't gotten there. What do you mean?
We're just touching. We're getting to it.
Okay. I'll just wait patiently and cutely.
Well, actually, it's interesting because when you came in the door at the hotel, I was watching Ancient Aliens, right?
Yes.
Because I flipped to it and I couldn't fucking look away. Like it was just a train wreck, and I'm watching. They're standing next to this wall, and they're like, we don't know why the arc on it's so tall. You know, it has to be extraterrestrials or giants or something like that. And I'm sending messages to SR like, dude, now they're standing next to a stone wall, and it's got the hair guy, and they're like, it has to be aliens. And I'm laughing, sending these messages. And Elliot comes in the room or whatever, and he gets to this part where they're talking about like Chinese festivals and parades and how they lift the dragon up into the inflatable kind of dragons up, and they release them. And they were like, could it be the case that people back in the day weren't really seeing dragons, but extraterrestrial crafts shaped like dragons?
Yes.
And I look at Elliot, and he just goes, because that's naturally what you would make a ship.
That's obvious shape.
That's got to be what it is.
Dragon shape. All of our planes.
That is my
like
favorite.
if you think about it, yes.
Conspiracy is that the reason why we have dragons in lore is because really we had dragon-shaped ships that
That's a good
aliens
one.
created.
I
and
don't know that I heard that.
That's the reason why.
All right, Elliot, since you're here, I'll go first on this question. Okay,
I just wanted that to be on your.
I'm not going to say absolute favorite because Greg's a psychopath, and we're not doing that. I will say one of my favorites is Secularity right here. This. Come sit on this knee, bud. Yeah, get over here.
Get over there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
My cell phone
here's
is
why.
currently inside
I love
my
Elliot,
thigh.
and I love the way earlier you were talking to that guy, and you're like, I don't think you're stupid. Because you're like a police interrogator that just found the murderer, and he's like, I don't think you're stupid.
I don't think you're bad.
I don't think
you
you're
meant to
bad.
hurt anybody.
And it's like,
I just think the script that I heard
I
is
just think
stupid.
you're so nice that I could almost believe that to be true, that you don't think that the person you're talking to is stupid or whatever. But no, you are a nice guy.
I have
and you-
$100 for you.
you have
for
a-
answering the question.
Yeah, well,
correctly.
So I have it the worst because I have to go back to the room with this person, and so
Yeah, Mike. So who's your favorite fucking host?
this is very chaotic right now. Very chaotic energy in this room.
Greg said I could do this.
do I have a sip of water like I'm on the stand or
Here, bud.
something real quick?
yeah,
there we go.
For this
okay.
one, hey,
Mike,
take
no
it.
pressure or anything. Just
My favorite host is Scott.
Nice. Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah.
I like
I
that.
love you. But you know what?
I love all the young
I
men
feel
in this
like
room.
I feel like me and Graham have actually bonded the most.
he
so
is actually. I really do.
Graham's
like
awesome.
Graham's a good guy.
that is.
Greg, why'd you make us do this? This is-
Objectively.
Why'd
good
you do
person.
this?
What is this,
Greg?
Squid
Why'd you
Games?
do
I,
this?
no, let me
It's
not
so fucked
let me
up.
not be
Yeah.
awkward. I do fucking love this guy. I've spent
Hey,
2
hey,
times.
look at
now.
that.
Hey, look at
Graham,
this.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Get up in here with your
screwing
non-sponsored
everything up.
beverage.
This is happening.
But you
Yes.
have to understand something. I interviewed Dan when I was a fan of the show.
Oh,
And so I was telling him, I was like, it's cool for me.
He is
because
no
I was a really
longer a
big
fan of the
Dan. And now he's one of my buddies. So
Yeah.
it's cool.
well, this has just turned into a big hodgepodge.
I know it's complete. but-
Before I wrap up with my answer, I want to give a quick shout out to our incredible audience out there
Yeah. Check 'em
who are still who sat through all of this.
Putting up with this foolishness.
Oh my goodness. I also want to take a second.
Flew in from the Netherlands.
I also want to take a second. We do have someone from the Netherlands.
That's great.
It's great. We have people from all over the place. And we also, I just want to thank all of our hosts here who have been with us. Whichever one is my favorite is irrelevant because they're all incredible.
Hey, favorite.
I want to thank our call screener and the rest of our crew. I want to thank all of our callers, even the ones that suck. I want to thank all of our chatters, even the ones that suck. I want to thank our mods. I want to thank everybody else. And with that, my favorite host is... See you next time, everybody, on Atheist Experience. We'll see you Sundays at 4:30 Central Standard Time, which is the best standard time. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye, everybody.